2-2 draw here away to Glasgow Uni. What's the first reaction after that?
Disappointed. We need to be disappointed. Um, I thought we played well enough in spells. Quality in the final third killed us. We've just spoke about that as well. Great. And look, we can. It's a bit raw, obviously, and we spoke about it in the dressing room, but can be going for top of the league, 3 points to bottom of the league, and not taking the points. So, but that's no disrespect to Glasgow Uni. I thought they played well. I thought they battled. You look at it, they've hit the bar 4 times. I think three free kicks, and then one for a header. The guy should score. So, but again, we've had chances. We were talking. We need to hit the target. We need to score, and then make them work. So, and I think the goals that we've, regardless of the boys are talking about the second one being a handball and that, I don't really care. I was like, we've got the chance to clear the ball and we don't clear it properly. We're too busy worrying about the foul instead of actually stopping the boy shoot, and then he finishes it well enough. And then it just became an absolute lottery at the end there, and it was just direct going box to box. So for me, disappointing more in the fact of the style of play that we want and the park. You know, I mean, you don't get any better than that. So I were disappointed that we dropped two, but look, we need to just go and kick on to next week straight away.
Is that just, do you put that down to kind of not finishing off our chances and allowing you to come back in, considering we led twice?
Aye, look, again, I think even the first goal comes from our poor decision making. And Cal said that, but he's went and headed it back, and it's been short, and the guy breaks through. Just at key moments, and just literally before that, we've had a great chance to make it 2-0. So we just need to go and kill the games. We spoke about it, like the style of play that we've got. And we're going to concede chances. I mean, we're quite open. And we spoke about it last week about the transition of play. It close apart pretty quickly. It's very, very hard to do that, and the size of part that you've got out there. But for me, we then need to take care of the ball a lot better. And disappointing as we are going there is, I think the Uni are probably going to feel a bit disappointed not to take the full whack away the day. And for me, that's collectively, it's just no good enough. That's no the performance or not. To come here and not take the 3 points is gutting. After we're talking about momentum, and we've got two very hard games coming up as well. So, look, we need to take chances. I mean, you don't take your chances, and if you don't stop them in the other end, I think it's hard to compare last week to this week, but the two differences is we barely gave them a shot last week from anywhere inside our 18 yard. Whereas they've had a good couple of opportunities there. Again, big park, open spaces. They've got some very, very quick players up the top, so that direct ball and they're off. But for me, we need to manage it and deal with it better. Decision making when we get into the final third, which I feel like I say every single time when we come in here, if we've not got the result. Again, the boys have questioned if we come in 2-1, is it a different chat? Aye, possibly, because you've got 3 points and you forget some of the minor things, but when you don't take all points, you dissect every single moment of it. And if we've got serious ambitions, we're going to try and compete. It's disappointing. The seasons are no won or lost at this point of the year, but when we look at it, we're taking points off the teams up the top competing, and we're dropping points at the bottom. So it's not a good situation to be in. We need to get more consistency. We're a wee bit yo-yo than now. It's a tough one.
Do you think the size of the park kind of had an effect on the game? Neither team could really control it, and at times it was almost like a basketball game. It was going end to end.
Well, particularly the last 20 minutes, I felt that it was that. I think first half, I thought we were great. They sat off us and let us play, and you go, right, great. And I've said that to them because the boys are saying, look, we played some good football. We've retained a lot of the ball, and I'm going, great. In the first 2/3, aye, fine, no bother. Me as a manager, I would like you go and hurt me in the first 2/3 as long as you're doing nothing in the final. And that's, I think, will let us down. I think, to be honest to the boys, I thought we played well. Our build-up play was fine. Our build-up play is always fine. That's our decision making when we get into that top third where we create those one-on-one spaces, or we get into the opportunities to deliver. Where the final ball has to get better. I think the first half we've created some great chances, and the ball's not went by the first man, which is a cardinal sin. And then second half, it's went that basketball game where, especially at 2 each, with, I don't know, 10-15 left, it's just going back to front each way. I think in the nature of the game, it's always going to be a wee bit like that. It's very hard to ask the boys to be composed and calm the game down at that bit where they're feeling a bit of pressure to go and try and score the goal. And then we must have had about 10 corners there in the last 5 minutes. So, but look, again, fair play to the unit. They've defended for their lives at that point, every man in the box. And I look, we struggled to probably break that down. I think possibly a wee penalty shout in the last minute, but to be fair, that they've been getting us out of jail. So, I think in the whole context of the game, we're probably lucky at times to be maybe walking away with a point. Looking at that, because the lads had a header, I think, for about 3 yards. I don't know how he's managed to header it into the floor and off the bar or post or whatever, but so they can, I'm sure if you speak to Mark, he'd be saying exactly the same. Need to take their chances. Look, goals win games, and at big moments we've let ourselves down today. So we pick ourselves back up and we take it in. We try no. I've been a wee bit disheartened there just because 2 points are critical, and I hate to go and want people to go and do us favours next week and stuff like that as well. Like we just need to be harder not to drop points. Now the lads have raised a fair point. Last year we lost loads of games, barely drew any, and it was a win or a loss. And I think this year we've barely been beat, maybe twice, 3 times tops, and the rest have been draws or wins. So great progress for last year, but some of the games that we've drawn this year have absolutely killed us. So when you look at it, even 4-6 points, how closer that gap makes, and it's so important for me that you don't get disjointed if you've got any ambition to go and try and put a press on. So look, we can dissect it till next week. We'll just pick ourselves up, we'll go and graft again during the week and try and get a better result next week.
Is it a concern that the games that we have drawn this season, we've held a lead of at least 2 goals at one point or another?
We'll look at Perthshire game, we were 4-1 up, and the calamity of that game was just speaks for itself. But like, that's added pressure there, being a derby game and stuff like that as well. When you look at the Craigmark game, you're 2-0 up, and I think we're absolutely in cruise control. And how that finishes 2 each still to this day, I'm amazed. But again, we talk about that at 2-1. We've had a great chance to go and win that game. So look, there's loads of games that we talk about that, and even there, I think Daz has had a great chance at 2-1 to go and put it to bed, and that's before all the carnage that then unfolds as well. We've had a couple of other wee half chances at times as well. Just again, final ball's not been good enough. I would agree that it's never good to be in winning positions and no go and taking the points, but look, sometimes it's way. Look at last week, it was Wales last week. We get a wee bit of luck, and then this week it's quite no fail for us. But we need to take that out of it and just go and punish it. It'd be different if our chances were 18-yard shots and you're going, oh, unlucky, but some of them are 6-7 yards out, and we need to be hitting the target and doing better with the chances. But that's a solo game. I'm just probably disappointed because we don't get better conditions to go and play our style of football and impose ourselves on people. And we did to an extent, as I said, in the Inverrain area and stuff. But look, talking about how it's hard to break teams down when they just sit in, but no, in a big part like that, it's not the pockets and the spaces are there, and we found them. It's not that we struggled, we got in behind them on a regular basis. We just never delivered the quality that was needed when we got there. So we spoke about it, and I know what you're saying. This is the style of football we want to play. I don't want to get to a stage where we're just hoofing balls and we're nice and tight, and it's basic 4-4-2 and it's condensed and it's not pretty to watch. Maybe protect the lead at times. We might need to look at changing that, but I don't think you can do that in a game like that as well. We're not a counter team where we don't soak up loads of pressure and go and play. We get the ball out and we play, and sometimes that leaves us open. We'll look at it. Look, it's how I've always said we wanted to play, and I've said that to the boys. We need to believe in the system, and we're creating the chances. We just need to put them away and kill games off and no give lads hope. I think maybe everybody felt in that stadium at 2-1 it could always go either way, and it was on a knife edge. Unfortunately, it's just no fell for us. But like you say, we've no dropped the point. We've no went and get beat for a winning position, and which is a big difference for last year. So at least we're in the right steps. Like, you don't just change overnight. Last year was, I said, that a rebuild, and I think this year we're going and we're competing. We're a lot better. That's probably the disappointing fact is, like, collectively we know the quality we've got in the squad, and we want it to be better. You know, just collectively better and more consistent. We just need consistent performances on a regular basis, and like every manager will ask for that. But right now, Raw, Hearts, wee bit of a derby, I suppose, as well. When you class it and you look at it, and I think we turned them over twice last year, and I'd say they were probably better last year than what they are this year. So it's just disappointing. But as I said, we can't dwell on it, pick ourselves up, and we go again. The lads are ready. We'll discuss it and we'll do it. We'll no change. We are who we are, and the style's what the style is. Then we need to stick to it. I think we've got a lot more joy this year than we have last year, and I don't think we've leaked as many silly goals this year as we did last year. There's still the odd few, but not as bad as last year. So I like try and take the silver linings and the many improvements on it, and keep pushing the guys to follow the plan.
And just finally then, Friday night game for a change this week, so that gives us an extra day's preparation for next week when Bailiff Clyde come to Lockburn Park. Do you think that will help the group?
No, like, it's probably extra day's rest probably doesn't do anything. If anything, it probably disrupts our training preparation for it before, because we're Monday, Thursday. So yesterday was just a wee bit of a light tactical session. So I'd say other than that, it doesn't let us do the same normalities. But look, I like a Friday night game. I'm not against that at all. And it gives us an opportunity to probably go and watch a couple of games on a Saturday. But look, extra day probably means I can work them a bit harder on Monday then, because I've got another rest. But I like it. They change it. I like it. Nice environment, particularly if we're playing in a park like that. And you see it a lot more the Friday night game. So good for fans and stuff like that as well, isn't it? So they can go and take in another game on a Saturday. So I don't think it's here or there. Like it. I liked it a lot more if we would have got a win, put it that way. But it's one of the things.
Thanks very much, Mark.
Cheers, guys.